Yo, what's going on, guys? So today I got a different type of video for y'all, and I'm going to be talking about the MCU and how the MCU can get better, because currently I would say right now the MCU is in the process of getting back to the way that it used to be before all the woke stuff ruined it. They recently fired a bunch of the workers there, I guess, that were considered woke. And a good example of what that really means is we won't be getting stuff anymore like the She-Hulk show, where a lot of the material in there is there's a lot of political things in there, and they kind of just like turn our heroes into a piece of a piece of basically monetary value, that just to push a certain narrative. So I feel like right now the MCU is currently rebuilding itself to get back to where it was back when the Avengers were first coming out, and when Iron Man first came out. So I basically had a pitch for the MCU to maybe kick off their next phase, or not even maybe to end their next phase, or however, whenever they want to introduce this idea. I've had this idea in my head for quite a long time now. And before I tell you guys what this idea is, right, I just want to point out that the reason why I'm bringing this idea up is because we've seen that the MCU is capable of bringing back old heroes. 10 years ago, there's no way in hell you would ever convince somebody that it was possible to have, Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman come back. And even after Hugh Jackman said that he was done, he still came back. And, after, seeing how Wolverine and Deadpool is a rated R film, and they brought back Hugh Jackman, and we got Wesley Snipes and Elektra back, this is the perfect time for Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige to come together and make an early 2000s Avengers film, okay? Now, what I'm getting at here is Tobey Maguire, Wesley Snipes, Ben Affleck, Nicolas Cage, and forgive me, I forget the first the first Hulk's name, Eric Bana. All right, get these 5 actors to come back and give us an alternate universe comic book film with these actors, okay? This can be the early 2000s Avengers in a whole different universe, and this could be rated R and cater towards an older audience. We've already got so much material for the younger audience that it's oversaturated. And to be completely honest with you, Wolverine and Deadpool is a breath of fresh air, because we have so much material for the younger generation and for the younger kids. And I understand that heroes, kids look up to heroes and things like that. But I just feel like when you can really push the boundaries of what you can do, you open up the potential to its max potential with these heroes in Marvel when you make the film rated R. And I know that the argument that a lot of people will say to me is that, well, these guys are in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s. They're too old to play these heroes. It's irrelevant. We've seen so much happen over the last decade. We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, coming back for Terminator. A lot of the old actors who are really high up in age now are coming back, and they're playing their respective roles. And people don't seem to have any issue with it. I mean, I have no issue with it at all. So just imagine for a second, you have Tobey Maguire, Nicolas Cage, Wesley Snipes, Eric Bana, and Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Even though I know he said that he'd never play Daredevil again, but just think of the possibilities of what you could do with these characters and what situations you could put them in. I mean, I think the biggest problem for me that kind of irritates me is that we get teased a lot with a lot of these older heroes. Aside from Hugh Jackman, I feel like seeing Wesley Snipes again, they know it's going to make people want to see a Wesley Snipes film. Seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield again, they know it's going to make us want to see Tobey Maguire back, with Andrew Garfield again for another film. And I feel like when they give us these heroes, or when they, give us these things, they're not giving these heroes enough time to really shine, and they're just kind of like, teasing us with it. And even with No Way Home, I mean, No Way Home is great. I love No Way Home, but I've got to admit that it left me wanting a little bit more, because I felt like towards the end of No Way Home, I felt like there should have at least been one more scene, maybe a 5 to 8 minute scene of the three Spider-Men hanging out together, rather than what they gave us. And what I mean by that is, I would have liked to see the three Spider-Men maybe swing around during the daytime, where there was no danger, and have all three of them swing through New York, and then, go grab a pizza, go chill on top of a rooftop, like do that, have that as a separate scene, and then give us the scene towards the end where they're talking again with each other at the construction site. So for me, I just feel like instead of giving us all of these cameos, we know the actors want to do it. All these actors would say yes to it. We know that the studios don't have problems bringing back old heroes, and they know the fan base wants to see these things. And what continues to baffle me is that the same thing applies to the Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4, is that we were asking for those two films after No Way Home. We were begging for them, and Sony and Disney and Marvel, whatever, they just completely ignored what we asked for. And instead, they gave us bullshit. And now they're shooting themselves in the foot. Well, they've already shot themselves in the foot, and now they're trying to fix the MCU. When all they really had to do over at Sony was give us those Spider-Man films, and all they had to do over at Marvel was stop trying to have an agenda and keep the same formula they had going for them when the first Avengers film came out. And like I said, I'm not really too sure about how they could, make the story around them, but all I know is that anything's possible, and we could definitely get these heroes in the same room together with each other. And they could be going up against a major threat, and this could be like a nice final send-off for them, because we have kind of like No Way Home, how No Way Home did. We have like a big multiversal film, with all these OG heroes. And to be completely honest with you, the MCU would not be here without Wesley Snipes, Tobey Maguire, Eric Bana's Hulk, Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, and even Ben Affleck's Daredevil. These are the first original Marvel films, hero movies that came out back when there was really no market for them. And Spider-Man with Tobey was one of the biggest ones. And I'd say Wesley Snipes was the OG because he was actually the first. And without him, there wouldn't have even been a market to consider making Spider-Man or any of these other hero films. So to me, it just seems like, honestly, I don't really have much faith or hope that they would do something like this. I honestly think it's a long shot, but hey, I'm just putting it out there. And if there's anybody else that would want to see this, put it down in the comments below and let me know, because I feel like this would be an amazing fucking idea to bring back all these old actors and just like make an Avengers with them, it would just be great to me. And I feel like it would definitely be for a much more older audience, from a lot of the people who are in their late 20s like myself, who grew up with these hero films. It would make billions, and I mean billions of dollars, if they went that direction. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Should they do an early 2000s styled Avengers film with all of the old heroes, or with some of the old heroes? I think it's the perfect opportunity. I think it'd be great before these actors get too old. Let me know down below what you think. And yeah, so I'm out.